In the shadowy forests of the Pacific Northwest, nestled deep within the enigmatic state of Oregon, there exists a spine-chilling tale known as the Haunting of Moonshadow Lake. This is a harrowing story of a gruesome incident that transpired in the 1950s and how a chilling legend, whispered in its aftermath, became a terrifying reality. Moonshadow Lake was a picturesque and serene place, a destination for those seeking solace in the embrace of nature. Its crystal clear waters reflected the towering pines that surrounded it, creating a postcard, perfect scene. But beneath the tranquil surface lay an ancient secret, one that would soon become a source of unimaginable horror. In 1954, a group of college friends set out for a weekend camping trip at Moonshadow Lake. The group was vibrant, filled with laughter and excitement as they embarked on their adventure. Little did they know that their journey would take turn for the macabre. On their second night by the lake, a thick, eerie mist rolled in, shrouding the campsite in an unnatural darkness. The air grew cold, and the once inviting waters of the lake seemed to beckon them. Against their instincts, they ventured into the water, and it was there that they encountered a haunting presence. Beneath the surface, pale, ghostly figures with hollow eyes and skeletal features emerged from the depths. These entities, known as the Lake Wraiths, were trapped spirits doomed to haunt Moonshadow Lake for eternity. They reached out to the swimmers with skeletal hands, their mournful whispers echoing in the cold, damp air. In a panic, the friends fled from the water, but the Lake Wraiths pursued them relentlessly. One by one, the college students were dragged beneath the surface, their desperate screams silenced by the water's suffocating embrace. Only one survivor, a young woman named Emily, managed to escape the grasp of the Lake Wraiths. She stumbled back to the campsite, her clothes soaked and her mind shattered by the horror she'd witnessed. She recounted the ghastly tale to the authorities, but her story was dismissed as the product of trauma and hysteria. In the years that followed, the legend of Moonshadow Lake grew. Locals whispered of the vengeful Lake Wraiths and the cursed waters of the lake. Many believed that the spirits could be appeased with offerings of silver trinkets and whispered apologies, a desperate attempt to protect their loved ones from the same fate. Then, in 1975, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to test the legend. Ignoring the warnings, they ventured into Moonshadow Lake, believing the story of the Lake Wraiths to be nothing more than a spooky campfire tale. The legend of Moonshadow Lake had come full circle. The teenagers, as they swam into the lake, felt the icy grip of the Lake Wraiths pulling them down into the dark waters. Their horrified screams echoed through the forest, serving as a grim reminder that some legends are born of truth, and that the past has a way of returning to haunt those who dare to ignore it. To this day, Moonshadow Lake remains a place of dread, and locals avoid its haunted shores after dark. The legend of the Lake Wraiths serves as a chilling testament to the notion that some secrets should never be disturbed, for the price of discovery may be too terrifying to bear.
In the heart of the desolate Nevada desert, nestled far from civilization, lies the forsaken town of Aden. This is the haunting tale of an incident that unfolded in the late 1800s and how a chilling legend told in its wake became an all-too-real nightmare. Abadan was a silver mining town, thriving on the riches buried deep beneath the arid earth. But prosperity came at a price, for beneath the town's dusty streets lay a hidden labyrinth of tunnels that seemed to reach into the bowels of hell itself. In 1893, tragedy struck when a massive explosion deep within the Abadan silver mine claimed the lives of dozens of miners. The townsfolk, grieving and desperate, gathered at the mine entrance as the smoke and dust cleared. Miraculously, one miner, a man named Samuel Hawthorne, emerged from the depths, battered and covered in soot but miraculously alive. Samuel recounted a horrifying tale. He claimed that in the darkness of the mine, he had encountered a sinister presence, a malevolent entity that whispered vile promises and beckoned him further into the abyss. Terrified, he fled deeper into the labyrinthine tunnels, where he stumbled upon a chamber filled with veins of silver that glowed with an otherworldly light. The legend of the silver vein of Abaddon was born that day, for Samuel had emerged from the mine with a piece of this unearthly silver clutched in his hand. The townsfolk marvelled at the strange metal, believing it to be a gift from the depths of the earth itself. But as the legend spread, so did the curse. Those who dared to mine the silver vein of Abaddon became afflicted with madness and paranoia. Miners reported hearing the same sinister whispers that Samuel had encountered, and some even claimed to see shadowy figures lurking in the tunnels. One by one, the townsfolk who sought to profit from the cursed silver met gruesome ends. Samuel, the sole survivor of the explosion, was driven to madness by the relentless whispers and was found dead in his home, his body contorted in unnatural agony. As the years passed, Abaddon dwindled into a ghost town, its cursed silver left untouched in the forsaken mine. The legend of the malevolent entity and the sinister silver vein became a cautionary tale, a story to scare children away from the abandoned tunnels. Then, in 1937, a group of treasure hunters, lured by tales of the cursed silver, ventured into the abandoned Abaddon silver mine. Armed with lanterns and pickaxes, they descended into the darkness, determined to claim the unearthly treasure for themselves. The legend of the silver vein of Abaddon had come full circle. The treasure hunters, driven by greed, encountered the same malevolent entity that had tormented Samuel. Madness descended upon them, and one by one, they vanished into the depths of the mine, their voices forever silenced by the sinister whispers. Today, Abaddon remains a ghost town, its cursed mine a place of dread and despair. Those who dare to approach the forsaken tunnels are said to hear the whispers of the malevolent entity and see the haunting shadows that once plagued the miners. The legend of the silver vein of Abaddon serves as a grim reminder that some treasures are best left buried, and that the darkest legends can become all too real in the desolate depths of the American wilderness.
In the remote and desolate heart of the Appalachian Mountains, there exists a spine-chilling legend known as the Echoing Hollow. This is the horrifying tale of an incident that unfolded in the 19th century and how a macabre legend, whispered in its aftermath, turned into a gruesome reality. Echoing Hollow was a small, secluded town in the heart of the Appalachian wilderness, nestled deep in the mountains. It was a place where time seemed to stand still. The townsfolk led simple lives, relying on the abundant resources the forest provided. But the forest, as ancient as it was, held secrets far more sinister than anyone could imagine. In 1867, a group of loggers ventured into the heart of the Echoing Hollow forest, enticed by rumors of valuable timber. The forest, however, was shrouded in a foreboding mist that never seemed to lift. The trees, gnarled and twisted, gave off an eerie aura that made even the bravest logger's spine tingle with dread. As the loggers advanced deeper into the heart of the forest, they encountered an ominous presence, a spectral figure cloaked in tattered rags and crowned with a wreath of thorns. The figure, known as the Woods Wraith, was believed to be the guardian spirit of the forest, protecting it from those who sought to exploit its secrets. Ignoring the warnings of the locals, the loggers pressed on, their axes biting into the ancient trees. But the forest fought back as if it had a will of its own. Trees toppled without warning, crushing loggers beneath their immense weight. Eerie whispers echoed through the woods, warning the loggers to leave, but they stubbornly persisted. One fateful night, as they set up camp deep in the heart of the forest, the loggers heard a haunting melody, a mournful tune that sent shivers down their spines. It was said to be the song of the Woods Wraith, a song that foretold doom. Terrified, they tried to flee, but the forest had become an inescapable labyrinth. One by one, the loggers vanished into the inky darkness, their cries fading into the eerie silence of the forest. Only one logger, a man named Thomas, managed to escape. He emerged from the woods, his clothes torn and his eyes haunted by the horrors he had witnessed. The legend of the Echoing Hollow forest grew, as did the eerie tales of the Woods Wraith. The townsfolk believed that the forest was cursed and that the spirit of the woods would protect it at any cost. They spoke of the haunting melody that foretold death to those who ventured too close. Then, in 1932, a group of treasure hunters, drawn by tales of hidden riches within the forest, decided to test the legend. Armed with shovels and lanterns, they ventured into the heart of Echoing Hollow, believing the stories to be mere superstition. The legend of the Echoing Hollow had come full circle. The treasure hunters, as they dug into the forest floor, heard the mournful melody of the Woods Wraith. The forest came alive, twisting and contorting to ensnare them. Trees moved as if with malevolence, their branches reaching out to claim the intruders. One by one, the treasure hunters vanished into the depths of the forest, their terrified screams blending with the haunting melody of the woods wraith. The legend had become a chilling reality once more, and the echoing hollow forest stood as a silent, unyielding sentinel, guarding its secrets from those who dared to trespass. Today, Echoing Hollow remains a place of dread, shunned by the townsfolk who believe in the curse of the woods wraith. The legend serves as a grim reminder that some tales are not mere stories, but harbingers of doom, and that the spirits of the wilderness can exact a terrifying vengeance on those who dare to challenge them.